Hi, Dan Beer with the Beer Home Team, #1 sales team at Keller Williams by size and volume, recognized by the Wall Street Journal among the top 250 teams in the nation. Here talking Trump presidency and what does it mean for real estate, especially here locally in San Diego. So what does a Trump presidency mean as this new administration starts to take power? #1, interest rates. The interest rates have been on the rise since the day that Trump was announced winner of the election. And so that's already completely in play. Rates are upwards of a half point higher than where they were previously, but they're still historically low. And you actually see a lot of buyers coming into the marketplace and understanding that while they're not at their lowest point, they're still historically extremely attractive. And the upward rise in interest rates has finally officially begun, even though we've been predicting this for years. And so to lock in that rate on you might be looking for an investment property, you're going to lock in a rate for 30 years, and you know that it will cash flow, we'll get that thing locked in. Okay, so that's #1. Interest rates are rising, and it's pushing buyers into the marketplace. #2, protectionist rhetoric as far as from the Trump administration, as far as keeping jobs in America through policy and taxing and penalizing companies for pushing them out. Now, don't get me wrong, great. I love knowing that we're going to have more American jobs, that we just have to do that, understanding that that kind of protectionist talk, along with taxing Chinese imports, more heavily, and all that kind of rhetoric can very easily, and especially as it turns into policy, can very easily turn into inflation beyond the normal levels of inflation. So that will be something that we'll be watching very closely. Third thing we're going to be watching very closely as Trump takes power and starts to pull away at what he sees as Obama or liberal policy is the way he approaches Dodd-Frank. Dodd-Frank, if you don't remember, is the bill that was put in place after the 2008-2009 crash. It was a response to that, and essentially it just put a ton of regulation in the financial markets. And like most things, that regulation, at least by my opinion, and most popular opinion, especially in our industry, it really was far-reaching. It went over the line. Now, its intent, phenomenal, but it went so far that Trump has his eyes on it. I mean, he's targeting this thing. He wants to dismantle it as much as possible. Will he be able to entirely do away with Dodd-Frank? Probably not. But he would like to make it as much a shell of itself as he could possibly, accomplish. So what that means is logically we're going to see looser lending re-entering the marketplace. And my hope, and what we're going to monitor here very closely, is will that looser lending, like most things, also go over the line? Will we get to where lending finally makes sense, and then beyond that point? Now, please be clear, I am in no way predicting we're going to see what we saw during the last real estate cycle. No way. Okay, I don't believe we're at all going to go there. But I do, logically, if you think about it, looser lending should eventually lead to a little bit more distressed real estate later on, years later, once people start to default on those loans. Now, again, I don't think we're going to see what we saw last time, not even close. But if you're an opportunistic investor, there's opportunity for us to pick up the right short sales or the right bank-owned properties, because when the market finally does enter its downward shift, you're going to be able to capture properties that have a disproportionate drop because of the distress. And so the way and the energy with which Trump attacks Dodd-Frank, absolutely one of the key things to watch as it relates to the presidency, relates to real estate here throughout 2017. If you want to discuss it any further, you have a buying, selling question, or anything real estate related, reach out. We'd love to connect with you. On behalf of the team, Beer Home Team here, I'm Dan, and see you next time.